Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I finally had time to do it. So I want to talk about how I'm dealing with my depression, because um, I'm really trying to deal with it, and I have some tips, and I really want to hope these tips help you guys, feel better, you know I'm really happy that a lot of you guys actually came out and texted me and told me about, like, a little bit about your stories and have you been through the same thing, and told me that just not to give up. So I really like that. Like, not like, a lot of people texted me, um, even people that I didn't really know. So I was like really happy to just have a lot of people come out and just tell me a little bit about them and how, like, they're dealing with it and stuff, and just telling me not to give up. And like I said, there's a lot of people going through it. You probably don't even know. So it just really helps me to know that I'm not alone in this. This is very common, and people are here to help you. So I just want to talk about how I'm dealing with my depression. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that you have to know you have a problem. Because if you don't know you have a problem, then you're not gonna try to fix anything, you know. And I feel like that was my situation. So I didn't know I had a problem for such a long time that I wasn't trying to fix anything. So then my problem was just getting worse. Like 2 years went by without me knowing I had depression. Like, all these things, I had all the symptoms, but nobody really told me, like, hey, all these symptoms that you have, like, it looks like you have depression. Or nobody really said anything. I just knew something was wrong, and I thought it was normal. But until it got to the point where I was like, okay, there's something wrong. I can't deal with it anymore. That I decided to talk to my psychologist and then I figure it out. But then, I mean, by this time, 2 years had already gone by. So, I mean, the problem had already progressed and got really bad at that time. So, I really feel like if I would have knew since the beginning, like, hey, like, you're changing a lot, like, somebody would have talked to me, told me, like, you're changing a lot, this and this, and it could even get worse in the future, like, maybe I would have tried to change things before it got worse. So, knowing you have a problem. So basically, the first thing that I would say to identifying if you have a problem or not, um, is this thing that is affecting you? Is it affecting you daily? Because if it's affecting you daily, or I would say at least 3 or 4 times out of the week, which is a lot, basically the whole week, you have a problem. If it, like, stops you from getting up every day, if you just really feel extremely unmotivated, because I know we all get lazy, but I'm talking about, like, this is an everyday thing. Because, like I said, there wasn't a day that I wouldn't think about Maryland. Like, there wasn't a day that I wouldn't think about my life over there. And at first I didn't realize it until 2 years had gone by. I'm like, damn, like, every single day I think about the same thing. So it I didn't realize it until, like, later. So you should, if that's you, then you have a problem and you have to try to get some help, or, talk to somebody. Um, but yeah, I never went to a psychologist or a therapist or anything. I never really spoke to anybody because I really do not have the time. Like, even though I am not motivated, like, I still keep myself very busy. Like, I've been working 2 jobs for like a year. Ever since I graduated, like, I've always been a person that really likes to work, and I really like money, so I work a lot, and I go to school. So, and then I'm also here at home, and I usually, like, even though I'm not consistently working out and stuff, I do try to eat healthy and work out sometimes. So I actually, like, do cook at home. So I have a full schedule, a full schedule. So I really try to maintain myself busy. I forgot why I was saying that. Anyways, so yeah. So that's why I never really went to a therapist. But there was a time that I did talk to a counselor, and basically all she said was, the main thing was, like, you have to work out. And I know that working out really helps with depression. There's like a lot of people, a lot of YouTube videos that say that it's like a really big thing. But I'm like, you're telling me to work out, the one thing that I cannot do, the one thing that I want to do and that I cannot get myself to do. So I talked to her for one time, but then after that I was just like, I don't have time to come back again. Too busy with my life. I'm trying to graduate. I'm trying to get some money, so can't come back. But that was that. But I mean, if you think that it's better for you to talk to a therapist, a psychologist, I think they're the same thing. You should really go ahead and do that, because maybe that's really gonna work for you, But it kind of didn't really work for me at that time. But that's the first thing. Now, so I would basically say one of the first things that helped me deal with depression was identifying what depression was. Because, when you hear depression, what do you think about? Because, I mean, what I used to think about was like, you're just sad. That was the whole meaning to me. You're sad or really sad for a period of time. And I actually just thought like, oh, he's depressed. Like, I kind of really linked it to like when a family member died. Or you're going to be depressed when your family dies. Or like, something like that. I didn't really think that depression could be caused for other things. Like, for example, me, like, moving states, my life change. Like, I really didn't think. Especially if it wasn't nothing too serious, because I did move here. Yes, I was going through a bad situation with my parents. Like, we were having a lot of problems. But I just didn't think you get depression over that, And I didn't really know what depression was. So, like, what were the symptoms? Like I said, you need to understand what depression is. So I was watching some YouTube videos because I was just trying to learn a little bit more about it. So basically, I got to this YouTube video. I don't remember the name, but basically what it said was that, how there's days when you just get up and you feel energetic and you want to do stuff. So depression is basically the opposite. There's days when you don't want to get up. You don't even want to get up your bed. You don't feel like doing anything. You feel so unmotivated and stuff. So depression is the absence or deficiency of a chemical in your brain, which is called dopamine. And so dopamine is a chemical that makes you feel good. So, I mean, when you're having sex, when you are in love, your brain releases dopamine, which makes you feel really good. So, if your brain is not releasing this, you don't feel happy. So that's why you just don't see stuff like this is how I basically see it. Like, let's say that you go out with your friends, right? And you have like some toothache. So, let's say you go, I don't know, you're having fun with your friends, but you have this toothache. Like, you're not gonna be happy, even though like the happiness is there. Your friends are out, they're making jokes and stuff. You're not really gonna be able to concentrate on the happiness because you have this toothache bothering you. So that's how I feel like depression is. So you have this deficiency of dopamine in your brain. So you're like feeling down, you feel tired, you feel unmotivated, and then like your family's here or your friends, and like the life is going on, but you don't see it. You just feel this constant pain, or like you just feel uncomfortable, So you're blind to the happiness. So that's how I basically see depression now. Like, it's just a toothache that just bothers me. Now, your body, your brain doesn't know how to tell your body, like, hey, body, so there's like a low chemical in in the brain. We're actually running low on dopamine, It doesn't really tell your body that, all you know is that you feel unmotivated. So basically what I learned through these YouTube videos was that since your body doesn't really know what's wrong, and all you know is that you feel unmotivated, your body starts creating like a problem. Like saying like, okay, I feel unmotivated, but why? What's wrong? And since you're just like laying down or whatever, you're just thinking, right? You start creating a problem. Okay, you start looking at your life, like, what's wrong in my life, so I can blame it on why I am unmotivated. So you're basically creating a problem, and there's no problem. And I don't know, it really makes sense to me because, yes, whenever I feel really unmotivated, like, I just want to be home and I just want to think about how I don't do anything and how I am not where I want to be and how like, I just started thinking about all these bad things whenever I feel unmotivated, you know. And basically you're helping yourself stay unmotivated. You're helping your brain not produce that chemical, will not produce dopamine, because you're just staying there, you know, and believing all this stuff you're thinking, all these bad thoughts, you know. So after I realized this, and you know, I learned about this, like, I really thought to myself, like, this is literally what I said to myself: am I really letting a chemical deficiency stop me? You know, am I really gonna let that stop me? Because the whole time I've been thinking about my life and everything that's wrong, but is there something really wrong, you know? I mean, you know, we're all wanting to get to the top, right? Like, but is there really a top? I mean, you can always keep growing, you know? So sometimes I feel bad because, like, I haven't done my homework and I still have to go to work and I have to do this and I haven't done this, and I'm like all stressed out of everything that I haven't done. But I never really sit down and realize of everything that I've done. I mean, I graduated on time, at least with this depression, you know. I worked 2 jobs. I mean, I have a car, 2017 car, that, I mean, it's hard, but, like, I'm paying for it, you know. Like, I am I'm part of this research program with Ohio University, and I got a scholarship through them, you know. Like, I never really think about that. I always think about how I can't do it, how I just don't feel like doing it. So I don't know, it just really made me realize, like, it's just a chemical in my brain that is low, and I'm not gonna let it stop me anymore. And if I just stay in bed, it's gonna keep stopping me, you know. Nothing physical is stopping me other than this chemical. So literally, that's what made me change my mind. You know, it really helped me to realize that there's nothing wrong. Now, depression is a thing that, like, I also learned, and sometimes there is reasons why you can have depression, but it also said that there's just people that their brain doesn't produce it naturally. So if this is you and you just really don't know what's wrong, you just know something's wrong, and you feel like it's always been wrong, maybe you're that type of person, like, your brain is just not producing this chemical, you know, which is really sad. But like I said, it's just a chemical, you know. Like, it's not gonna stop us. Like, it's not gonna stop me anymore. So something else that I've been working on, I actually started a journal. So not every night, but, like, at least once a week, I try to journal and talk about my week and talk about the stuff that made me feel good and the stuff that made me feel bad. Because, like, honestly, since I started this journal, like, it's crazy. Like, there's so much stuff that you forget throughout your week, or throughout the week. Like sometimes I read my journals from, like, 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, damn, like, did I really feel that way? Like, it completely flew out my mind, you know. Like, I remember one time I was feeling really stressed out because my printer wasn't working. So because I need my printer for my job, so it wasn't working. So then I went to the store, and then I was trying to get the part that didn't work. So then I came home and I was trying to fix it, and it still didn't fucking work. So I wasted, like, my whole day on this. And what's it called? And I wasted my whole day on this, and, like, at the end of the day, I was just feeling really mad, and I was just, because it was, like, I think it was a Sunday night, so I had to get up and go to work the next day. So I was like, now I'm not gonna have time to do this and this, and I was just so stressed out. And I wrote about it in my journal. So then a couple days later, I was like, damn, like, these couple days I've just been feeling really bad. So I actually started reading my journal, and I started reading about the part where I was talking about the printer and how I was mad that I wasted my day on it, and it still didn't work. And it really made me realize that, you know, I forgot all about that. Like, ever since that moment, I started to feel really bad. The next day, I was like, I woke up late for work. Like, I just kept going down, you know, like, feeling worse throughout the days. And it really helped me to realize, oh, like, this is the point where I kind of just started to feel down, you know. So my journal has really helped me just to identify what triggers my depression, you know, reflect on what's going on in my life. Like, I've had depression for 4 years, sorry. But and I kind of started this journal like a year ago, but I haven't really consistently been writing on it until, like, the beginning of this year. But yes, guys, like I was saying, I feel like my journal has really helped me. So another thing that I feel like has really helped me has been so I actually started working a new job. So I am working now as a Spanish interpreter, and I work for many different places. So sometimes I work for hospitals, we do courts, schools, home visits, anything that, a lot of different things. So I've been working in hospitals often now, and I've been working a lot with people who have disabilities and people who are sick, people with mental illnesses, people with other depression. So I feel like all this stuff has really helped me look at life differently. Honestly, like, sitting down and talking to these people and like having a therapist or somebody ask this person, like, do you feel motivated? Do you feel unhappy with your life? And just hearing this person say yes, and like just hearing them say the same symptoms that I experienced. And most of these people, their problems are more severe than mine. So it really makes you look at life differently and just see, like, this person, like, I could just imagine all the bad things that's going through their head, and I'm just like, damn, like, sometimes I'm them, and it's really sad, to see them like this, to hear how they want to kill themselves, they want to commit suicide. Honestly, like, I really feel happy that I started working here, well, that I started working as an interpreter, just because you get to see life in a different perspective. Like I said, I also work with people with disabilities, and I can't really talk too much about my job, but I do work with people with disabilities, and some people, I've seen people different ages, but I've seen a lot of people that are my age, that were born with these birth defects, or they had an accident or something, and they're in a wheelchair or something. And it's really sad to know, like, there's something physical stopping them, And I mean, not, I don't always talk about depression with them, because maybe that's not what my my appointment is about. But I can just imagine, like, if I feel so bad sometimes, just the fact that I can't get up and do some stuff. Like, now imagine if I really couldn't physically get up, how I would feel, and this is something that, and if I sometimes feel hopeless, imagine how hopeless do they feel, And that just really made me think about life and feel like, I'm trying to deal with this, and I wish that I could help them deal with it. Definitely, it's a different situation, but I feel like there could be a way where I want to just help these people, that probably feel the same way, and, just look at life differently, because it's so sad. And honestly, I just think about my life, and I really wake up some, like, mornings, and I'm just like, I'm so happy at least I can wake up. Like, I am physically okay, healthy to just get off my bed. Maybe not mentally, but definitely physically healthy to get off my bed every day and go to work, I'm so happy of that, you know, and I just really try to value it, because you never know if something's going to happen to you one day. Maybe you'll get in a car accident. I mean, you never really know. And maybe one day I won't have the opportunity anymore. And I wasted all this time being depressed and stuff. And then maybe one day something really bad is going to happen. And then I'm going to really wish that I would have valued the time that I had before. So that's another thing that I really feel like has helped me. And if this is you, like, I'm pretty sure, like, not everybody speaks Spanish or feels comfortable speaking Spanish, or maybe you only speak one language. But, like, I really think that if you're really depressed, something that could really help you is either maybe some type of volunteer work, but, like, with other people, with people that have disabilities, people who are sick or something, but just something that really makes you look at life differently, makes you feel better about yourself because you're doing something good. But it really just puts you in the perspective, like, of other people that feel the same way. And you just feel so bad to hear these people feeling the same way, because you're like, oh my, like, I don't know, it just really makes you, like, watch it from the other side. So that's that. So honestly, these are all my tips for right now. I know that there's been a couple more things. I mean, I'm also trying to get into working out again, but I still haven't been really consistent with that. But I am coming up with a new plan to get into that, because I know that that is really important to me, and I definitely want to get back into it, because I would love to make YouTube videos about workouts that I do and stuff, because I really do like it. Whenever I do go to the gym, I feel really good. So that's another thing that I really want to get into, and losing all this weight that I've gained ever since I moved here. So those are my goals. So I hope some of the tips that I just mentioned help you guys in some type of way. Feel free to DM me again and tell me how you feel about it. If you wanted me to talk about something else, just go ahead and tell me anything that you guys want to say to me. And thank you so much for everybody that's watching this video. Bye.